Hey guys, just want to let you know if you're about to buy this speaker system or a box that's similar to this, don't do it. I know this is the beginning of the video, but I'm going to show you why in a second. Um, Today I was approached by some guy who said he needed to clear some stuff out of the warehouse. That's one of the stories you'll hear. The other story you'll hear is my boss doesn't want me to take this back to the warehouse, or they gave me an extra load and I have a couple to unload, and you'll get a home theater system for really cheap. So initially that might seem appealing, but I'll show you why this is cheap and why it's a scam. So initially, the first thing you'll notice is that it says the system is 2000 watts total power. So from what I've done, from what I found out later doing some Google searches, I'm not exactly an audio expert, is that there's no way you're carrying a 2000 watt system into the trunk of your car with your bare hands, because they're pretty heavy. When it's a 2000 watt system, it's pretty much being delivered to your house in a handcart. So again, look around online. I'm not an audio expert, but that's what I found. I know what I don't know, but I also know the places to go to learn about them. So anyway, if you're about to buy this, or someone just gave you this, here's what I want you to know about what's inside the box. So I just opened up one of the speakers. I'll just come around to the camera on the other side, show you. So this is going to come to you sealed like this. The first thing you'll notice is how heavy this is. Feels like a really high quality system in here, high quality speakers in here. You expect a high quality speaker to be pretty heavy because they have larger magnets than normal. And you'll notice the professionally done badging they have on all the speakers. This is the first and only one that I'm taking apart, that I took apart. And I actually took it apart while I shot another video taking it apart, but I was out of frame, and I'm not going, it's not even worth bothering to go back and redo that. But basically this just comes off. If you wedge it off, the cover comes off. As you can see, there's a bunch more speakers in there, the satellite speakers, I guess, and there's a subwoofer underneath. I'm not even going to get to the others because I already looked online. So similar systems that they just rebrand them every once in a while to keep the scam going. But the whole gig is they rebrand a junk product, sell it to you cheap. So on the plus side, you didn't buy something stolen. You just bought something that really sucks. This is one of the speakers in here. For the rating, for 2000 watts, this being one of the main speakers, you can see that this is pure junk. There's no way this would push that amount of sound. You can just tell by the quality of the build quality here. This is not a good speaker at all. It's very cheaply made, and that's why it was cheap, not because they had to clear out the warehouse. And the reason that tiny little speaker feels so heavy is they actually have weights in here. So this is a block of something. Looks like maybe some sort of plastic mold, might even be something with a metal insert on the inside. And all of them, I expect all of them to have this because they're unnaturally heavy, especially considering the junk they have in here. Even when you take a look at the wiring, that's not a professional, that's not a high quality speaker. You can even tell right here it's been pinched. That would never clear a factory at a rating of 2000 watts and the amount of quality you expect from it. Not even that. You'll notice that on the box, it even says that the MSRP for this system is $2,495. For a $2,000 system, you're not going to get this type of junk. This is bogus. You notice the wires. From what I've seen online, they've actually gotten better at getting some higher, and in quotes, higher quality wires. But these are not real speaker wires. You could tell just by how they flex. Again, I'm not an expert. I just know certain things. When you open up enough stuff, open up and put together enough stuff, as you grow up, you kind of pick up on certain things, and this is definitely junk. Today was my turn. I got suckered, and I don't want you to get conned. So, feels heavy, looks nice, but the deal was too good. And you know what happens when the deal's too good. So, be very vigilant of this, guys. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the first videos on this, but under this Barton Williams Acoustics brand. This seems to be a new branding they have on it. They haven't, I didn't see much of this brand out there. I think I saw one starts with a G, something like Garchon, and then before that they started with an N, but it's pretty much the same box. They just redesigned the logo. They leave this images almost the same, change, Photoshop out the new branding, and they pretty much do the same box over and over and over until people catch on, and then they switch again to something else. Yeah, but this is, at the very least, at least you didn't buy something, you know, what you did was not illegal. So you just got conned. Good. You can see that. Almost looks like a piece of rock. Some sort of plastic molding. I don't know what that is. It's glued to the case to make the whole thing feel heavy. Nothing vibrates. And that's what kind of gets you, and you think it's a high quality product because nothing shakes. Nothing's brittle. It feels pretty solid from a construction perspective, from an engineering perspective. The subs and it also doesn't come with a receiver, so you're not gonna plug and play this cheap junk anyway. At least if you get the 660. I've seen one labeled 760 that seems to have a receiver in it. So at least if you get that one, you're going to go home with some low quality sound for a low amount of money, which is, I guess, expected. It's cheap for a reason. So if you're standing in the back of one of the white vans that this comes out of, don't buy it. Don't get suckered. I got suckered because I was looking at I was actually doing some Google searches on a cheap home theater system for one of the areas in my house, and I was gonna go to Best Buy and just pick up, like maybe a sound bar for that specific TV. And when this guy just caught me at the wrong day. I know better, but every once in a while you get suckered, and that was me today. So don't get ripped off. You know better. I did, and I still kind of, lost out just a little bit of cash. At least I got a bunch of magnets that my kids can play with. I'm gonna take the speakers apart and kind of just do a nice little magnetic board for my kids. They can play around with the magnets every once in a while. Maybe even do a map. And they can maybe use the magnets to pin their favorite destinations. All right, guys, have a good day. Don't get ripped off. Thanks.